And lawmakers better look out. TMZ is hunting them down. TMZ wants pictures of lawmakers who are on vacation while the partial government shutdown continues on to day 46. Shutdown has now surpassed the fall 2025 shutdown of 43 days, which affected the entire federal government. TMZ has already published pictures of South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham on a 3-day vacation at Disney World. You can't make that up, right? In one picture, Senator Graham is seen carrying a bubble wand, and in another picture, he's seen boarding Space Mountain. Meanwhile, today, Republican Texas Senator Ted Cruz was seen in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He was surrounded by 4 police officers, and as TMZ describes, some dude with a lapel pin. And on the other side of the aisle on Sunday, California Congressman Robert Garcia was seen enjoying drinks inside a Las Vegas casino. The Democratic representative says he was in town visiting his father. And lastly, Republican Representative Buddy Carter of Georgia was spotted Saturday leaving Charlottesville, Virginia, after attending his grandson's baseball game. Now, I don't know about you, and I don't begrudge anyone getting a vacation if he's completed his job. But there's a part of me that wonders what members of Congress said to the TSA workers as they passed through security at the airport. TMZ executive producer Charles Latibeaudiere joins me. Charles, you got a great mission right now. Is going out and taking pictures of all these holiday people.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we were inspired to do this, Greta, because we just saw the suffering that was happening for, at the time, TSA officers who hadn't been paid in several weeks. And I remember last week we interviewed a woman named Rebecca Wolf. She's a TSA officer, I believe, in Idaho. And she was struggling. I mean, trying to support her 3 kids, 2 grandkids, and couldn't figure out how to do this. And she talked about what we've heard other TSA officers talk about, the fact that just 5 months ago, they were going through this same crap again. And it just seemed ridiculous to us that at the time we interviewed her, Congress was getting ready to pack up and leave for their 2-week recess. And we're like, why do they get to go on vacation when they haven't done their jobs? Like, we talked about it here in the office. Like, Greta, in your office, if someone's going on vacation and there's a task that they need to get done, they would get it done before they leave. And if they didn't, there would be consequences. And it just seemed like this was the only consequence, was to shame the members of Congress that, fine, you're going to go have your vacations and you're going to, forget about your work for 2 weeks. That's good. Everyone deserves a vacation. But when not doing your job is so negatively impacting so many people, something has to be done. And maybe this will shake them up.
And don't forget, we're paying them while they're on vacation. I mean, that's the irony, is that, for all these vacations. And look, I know the Democrats sort of started this. They said no. But the Republicans' answer is just to point a finger and not to try to find a solution or to use reconciliation or do anything. They could at least show both sides. I blame both sides, and I know the Democrats. I do believe they started this and get a giant share of it. But it's not enough for me for Republicans to say, "Oh, the Democrats started." I think they should all be sleeping in their offices until they do this, until they figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, look, of course there's going to be finger pointing, and I think, we've gotten such a great response from our viewers and users of the site. And I think the reason is that we've made the point that this, for us at least, is not partisan. We don't care what party they're in. We just want to see what they're all doing on their vacations, because, as you said, this is about them being able to compromise. It really is. Maybe you can point to, one party, say, that started it. But the point is, if they're doing their jobs right, they find a compromise, and they, at the very least, fund the government so that the employees can get paid. And when they're not doing that, that's why they've all got to be called out. So we have made the point, and as you went through the list there, we've gotten people on both sides of the aisle. And when we write the stories, we're not really pointing out their party. The only time we bring up their party is when we call their offices for comment, and inevitably they always want to blame the other party. So that's only reason that it comes up in the story is which party they're in. So this is just about
I just don't understand.
Showing them.
I don't understand. Like, can you imagine standing in line if you're a member of Congress at TSA? What do you do? Wear a hat and look down and wear sunglasses? I mean, what do you do?
You know what? That is a great point that we wanted to find out. Remember, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, Delta said they were going to eliminate their program where they sort of help escort members of Congress through TSA, that they weren't going to help them anymore. I would love to know that what you just said is something we've been thinking about. Is we're trying to get a TSA officer to talk about it. Like, what do you do when you see a member of Congress coming through and they don't, and you know that you're not getting paid because they're not doing their jobs? Obviously, I would expect them to be professional and not, dress them down, but they got to be thinking it.
I'm not so sure. I have a little bit more of a control problem. If I were standing in line next to one as a fellow traveler, I might have something to say, and I'd probably read about it or see it on TMZ. But nonetheless, I'd have something to say. I'd be like, I'd be one of your videos. Anyway, Charles, nice to see you always.
Good to see you too, Greta.
People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.